You are listening to Guillotines and Guitar, your southern infusion of everything rock and horror, served over lavish libations. Here are your hosts, Carol Gainey, Scott Barfield, and Chris Hicks. Enjoy.
This week's sponsors for the show are Shane's Tire and Towing, #1 in the tire business. With state-of-the-art equipment and alignment machine, Shane's Tire and Towing for all your new and used tire needs. Worth the call. Every time. Call Shane at 843-309-5920. Maryland Fried Chicken of Hartsville. The best shrimp and hush puppies in town. Great restaurant with great service. Fresh marinated chicken with an unbelievable menu. Do yourself a favor and stop by for some goodness. For grading and paving. For all your residential and commercial needs. For grading and clearing, topsoil, sand, clay, gravel and asphalt, give Jeffrey Furr a call today at 843-537-2881. You will be glad you did. J. Michael's Bar and Grill. The perfect place to try some new stuff or enjoy the classics. It's a great choice, so make it your first choice. Listen to some live music on the porch while you enjoy a cold one. Come get it while it lasts. Spiro's Wings and Ale. Great food. Live music and a great atmosphere. Food and drink specials with the best service around. Always the place to be with friends, family, or just bring yourself. You deserve it. Thanks to all our sponsors.
And welcome to another podcast here at the Hartsville Guillotines and Guitar Studio. I see how this episode is going to go.
He forgot where he was at.
He's stuck in traffic.
It's the three amigos tonight. Bartender, he took another sick day. LL Cool Trey, he ain't feeling too well.
I know. We're going to have to start docking for sick days. We can't
we got a point system
days.
here. We got a point system, and
you take too many sick days.
Yeah, you get reprimanded.
Yeah, you get docked.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's right. But anyway, it's a late night tonight. We're starting a little late. I had a few problems at work, but that ain't no problem because this cut 18, baby. We're going to do this cut 18 at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Don't matter. We're going to get it done. Ain't it, fellas?
That's right. I hear you. Speak it. Speak the truth, Chris.
So, our topics tonight is guillotines. What is your favorite villain quote? And guitars. Who is the most perceived villain in the music industry? Like a label, band, or just one person?
Could be a musician or
so
A&R rep.
Basically, the favorite asshole of the music, who's the asshole of the music industry. So that's our two topics. We're going to get through this. And we're gonna do some. I need a shot. Let's go ahead and get that.
We're gonna see what topic we starting with, or we're gonna go ahead and do the shot.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll go ahead and spin it. We'll go ahead.
We'll do the topic first.
All right, we're going to do the topic. I got the coin.
Hey,
I'm
show that coin. We still got thousands of damn coins.
We got some coins.
We need them gone. We need them gone. We need you to buy some. We need you to, we need some more hats. I think we gave away more than people bought. But we need you to buy them. We need to get rid of them. Let's go.
All right, ready?
That was the laziest
that was a lame spin
I've ever seen in my life.
But
Guillotines.
Hey, he's been here drinking too long already.
I was pre-gaming too long.
How many drinks have you had?
3.
That's a lie.
4?
No.
If the bartender was here, I'd get him to go ahead and cut you off.
Yeah.
All right, so we starting guillotine topics.
Guillotine topics. We got a little fireball action. That's
fireball.
It. Look, we're doing lazy. We ain't even got shot glasses.
Carol got a shot glass.
I got me one.
Oh shit! I thought he does his in thirds. So
and we don't.
Safety first. Safety first.
Cheers. Cheers, everybody. Oh yeah.
That was pretty good. Ooh, I didn't mean to do that whole thing, but
yes, you did.
All right,
That's because Carol didn't get me a shot glass. I would have liked to take me a. What was that? An eighth, Carol?
No.
Look at that.
That wasn't
He
no
still
damn
got
eight.
some damn
No, look at
in there.
his bottle.
I do.
Oh my God!
Hey, you look how much goes in.
I think that was an eighth.
No, you
He's
look how-
taking milligrams,
Look.
millimeters.
That's a half a shot right there. And look, I still got almost half a bottle left after 2 pours.
Hey, you calm down. I mean, look
No,
at the
no.
damn bottle. It's
Hey.
small as hell.
It ain't that
No,
small.
hey, Carol, that's
50,
fine.
50
That's fine.
milliliters.
He'll be
That's
on. Oh, I just put him on the couch right there. Oh my God! You know what?
I was on the couch for the 4 drinks I had before you got here. When Scott was like, "You want another drink?"
No, hey, I'm not a bad influence. I do not tell people if they want another
Ooh,
drink.
you lie.
I
You know
keep
what
my
the
mouth
first? You know what the
closed.
first thing he normally does when he gets here?
What's that?
Goes to the ice machine.
That's because we need ice.
We do.
Because usually
What,
you
what
don't
do you
have
use
ice.
ice
So
for?
I get our ice supply
For?
for our drinks.
Oh, for our drinks. But you're not a bad influence, though. I understand.
I don't tell you to partake in the getting ice in your cup, though.
You wrote a show that involved libations, drinking, shots.
We ain't said that in a while. Everything that is horror and rock served over lavish libations.
Yeah, that's right.
Libations, not vations.
Libations, yeah, with a B.
That's awesome. Where the hell did you come up with that shit?
It's
Probably
Oh.
down on the farm.
that's part.
He was
of
doing
it,
the
yeah.
watermelon crawl when he thought about it.
He probably was.
No, actually, when I was thinking of the show, when Carol called me, it just kind of came to me when I was jotting down ideas, and it was just like, I don't know, it was just like it just happened, and I was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool.
What
Sounds
did you
kinda
hear?
of a lot.
Libations. Did you even know that? I mean,
Oh, he knew it.
Yeah,
You just-
it's a word. It's a word. I know words, but I mean, so
I know words.
no. And actually, I heard that. I heard libations.
Through the grapevine.
No, from a radio show, a morning radio show, maybe 8-9 years ago. And I heard this guy on the radio talking about, I was on vacation and I partake in a few libations, and that's what he said. And I was like, libations? I was like, which I thought he said libations. I thought he said with a V. And so I looked it up, and I looked up libations and nothing come up with it. I was like, well, that can't be it. What?
That dude don't know what the hell
I
he's
thought,
talking
what the
about.
hell is he talking about? Libations, And so I typed in a B. I did LIBAT, and then it came up libations, and it said, a drink or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's what it is. I was like, so, and the word always stuck with me because,
Because you
It's-
like libations.
well, I do, but then also it's a kind of neat word when you hear it, And I thought whenever we started doing the show, I was like, that'd be cool to incorporate that word into the show. Especially with lively libations,
Yep.
I was like,
And it worked out well.
It did.
Here we
That
are,
made-
There we
18
go.
episodes later.
Yes, sir.
Thanks to that morning radio
Yep,
show.
and now we have the meaning.
Thanks to
of-
Scott being hung over listening to that morning radio show.
Well, actually, it's a morning show I listen to all the time, but
Libations.
it's a. And do you know how many times I've heard that word since I learned the meaning of it? Probably a lot. I mean, a lot more than I would think.
Yeah.
Because you usually don't hear that word that much. And like I still run into a lot of people when I say that word, they don't know what it means, and almost 90% of people when I mention that word, they do the same thing. Libation. They
Yeah.
want to put a V in it. Like libation, which rolling off the tongue sounds better than libation.
It does.
But it's and I have to correct them, and I'm like, no, don't don't feel bad because I was the same way. You know, when the first time I heard it, that's what I thought it was libation. When I heard it on the radio.
I didn't think that.
You didn't?
No, because the first time I heard about it is when you sent me the message or whatever.
Oh, so you saw it.
I seen how it was spelled.
But anyway, so yeah, going back to the history and the origin of our show, that was part of it. Was that, and
we
it's a word that
whoever
has
that
stuck
was.
with me, and it's
It's finally give you some meaning to life.
Well, you brought it to the show. You have opened doors with that word.
And I told Chris that too, because Chris didn't know. But how many times does Chris use libations now? He uses it at our shows sometimes.
Yeah.
Everybody out take a libation. I'm like,
I do.
I'm like,
I really do.
It's opening up your mind. You learn a new word.
And people bystanders like, the fuck did he just say? What the hell's a libation?
Okay, but language, Chris. Let's get back.
Sorry.
And actually, the show is fun to do. I enjoy doing the show, but I have actually learned a lot from doing the show, and I think many of our listeners learn
I think
things
so too. It might be a lot of stupid shit, but you still learn some stuff.
Yeah,
I
mean, you really do, because it makes
Well,
us,
I mean, I say it's stupid shit because it's not dealing with what's going on in the world, which I think what our show was intended to be is to get away from everything going on in the world. Something for people to sit back and kind of, just forget about their daily
a drink.
lifestyle. Yeah. Fix a drink, listen to something, have fun, laugh about stuff, which I think is hopefully what we try and give people. And I think it provides that. And if we give a few new words that people don't know what they mean and we explain to them what it is, guess what? They can go educate other people too.
Yep, we are in 11 countries now, counting the U.S.
11 countries.
So Sylvania was the last one we picked up.
I love-
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
we
that's
probably
good,
give new meaning to words with them trying to.
I bet them
listen.
dudes over there-
especially trying to listen to and get our accents. They probably
That's
like.
what
Yeah.
that's what I'm about to say. I bet over there in the UK, like, did you hear these fucking rednecks?
Hey,
They're so funny. Or them in Mabaza.
How do-
Did you hear the rednecks out there?
Okay, so you sound like you're doing a Arnold Schwarzenegger,
I
who was
think
from
I was-
Austria, and you're doing him.
I think I was in Mabasa just now.
And where?
In the Horn of Africa. Did you hear this?
But you're doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger voice.
Did I?
Yeah.
I know I did
Kind of.
pretty
That's what it sounded like to me.
Similar
I don't know
somewhat,
if-
but not exact.
But can you
Do
imagine?
you know what the Horn of Africa language is?
It's French.
No, it was.
I know.
Close. That was real close.
Okay, yeah. So what you're doing is not right, but
Close.
How about,
Real close.
was that what
do
is that?
you want me to
Yeah.
tell you what it is?
Yeah, what is it?
Well, I don't know.
I swear.
Google.
I swear. Am I not close though? There ain't a lot of French over there.
I mean, if you play
don't
on
know.
horseshoes or
maybe
hanging
I've never been over there, so I don't know.
Yeah, but
It might be.
because just think about when if they got some kind of app that translate what we're saying.
They got to because
Well, I'm just saying if they do, how many times does that thing fuck
yeah,
up?
I wonder
trying
how.
to-
Yeah,
trying
if
to-
it don't pick
I
up what
know.
we're saying, because
Sorry, I do not understand.
if you're
your
listening
request.
overseas in the UK, whether it be Africa or
we love you.
Somalia
We
or
love you.
Yugoslavia,
UK.
Bosnia,
Sylvania,
Ukraine, we want your
France.
input. Please drop us a link. Do something. I want to talk to you. Give me your phone number. Hell, I'll call you.
yeah, we will call, and we will
will
put
call.
you on.
If you
On
listen to this
Zoom
show,
calls,
I
mean,
challenge you. If you listen to this show overseas, comment, call us, email us.
Email us.
We got an email.
Give us some topics.
Yeah, give us some topics. We would love to hear from you. We will be happy to hear from
Yep.
you. And I'll put on my translation app and we could talk.
Better email.
That would be cool though, to get some
Yeah,
people from
it
different
really would.
countries.
Yeah, that would be great, man. That would be great. That'd be great.
I think that would be because I mean I love like I got some guys that I work with who are good friends of mine who are from South Africa, and they speak Afrikaans is their language, and I've listened to some of them. And I've had some of the guys, speak it to me, and I try and listen to them. And I'm listening, and they're telling me what they're saying as they're speaking it to like they'll speak a sentence, and then they'll tell me what they said.
Yeah.
And I've told one of the guys before, I was like, I hear like a roll in your cadence when you're speaking, like a grr, like that when they're talking. They're like, I never did a roll. I'm like, I hear it. They're like, no, because and they think that I guess they have their own
pronunciation.
Yeah, and they have their own people in their country who speak different. Like in America,
Yeah.
we have like up north when they listen to us here, and they're like, "You from south? You from down south?"
They'd be like, "I see you on the grass out there."
Yeah, but they can tell the difference in the way we speak.
Yeah.
And South Africans can tell the way from where somebody is from in South Africa and somebody else is from.
That's like
Because that's what he was telling me. He was like, I could tell the difference. And when I was like, well, I hear like a roll when you're talking to me in Afrikaans, I can hear that. I can hear like a, something
Apparently
like that.
they
And he's
never-
like, I don't sound like that. I'm like, you do. He's like, so it's weird, and he's telling me, he said, I hear people from other parts of the country that sound different than me, and I'm like, I can hear both of y'all talk. I don't hear any difference in either one of y'all when y'all talking to each other, because I'm like, it's the language is foreign to me. I'm like, and I guess it's the same thing with
them listening to us.
But so I mean, that's the whole thing. And
You need to let them listen to a Ruffles Ridges commercial.
yeah.
They'll understand the role then.
So,
But anyway, so we're going on 15 minutes now. We're talking about language.
We talk about
what's this show about?
The show and how it got started, and how libations come into it. And how
Anyway, I thought this
everybody
was
on this
guillotines
show-
and guitars, and we were talking about language.
we'll change it after 30 shows.
that's why I love. That's
for
why I love.
15 minutes.
Hey, that's what I love about this show. We're a ball of knowledge.
Episode 30.
We can hit you with anything with some knowledge.
Well, perceived knowledge.
Oh, by the way,
Knowledge about not be exactly right.
guess
but-
whose topics these are we're doing tonight?
Whose topics are we doing tonight?
The king, the great one, Derail Gainey.
God Gainey. Oh my God. They are his topics,
yeah,
Daryl.
both
we
of them.
are doing
They
your
are
topics.
some good topics.
They are good
The
topics.
guillotines and guitars is Daryl Gainey's tonight, so we waiting on him to respond. He needs to come on. I have yet to see him respond. He needs to come on here and share his knowledge.
We will dedicate this show to Daryl Gainey because both of the topics we're using are from him.
Yep. So
we're on guillotines topics is what we're starting with.
Yep,
we already done our
guillotine.
shots.
So best
before we went off the rails and went into the ditch talking about language.
It's your fault. I didn't
I
say talk about
know,
that
but
shit.
I'm sorry. But anyway,
I'm sorry.
I apologize. Please accept my apology.
He's sorry, ladies and gentlemen. He is sorry.
So we starting with the guillotines
And
topic.
let's do open forum since it's just three of us.
We can do open forum.
We'll do open forum.
We are doing the what's the best quote from a villain in a horror movie?
Yep. I bet you got a bunch.
I do. I have a lot.
Can you tell me what Jason's would be?
Well, Jason, there would be no quote, but
Kill.
it would just be him standing there with his hockey mask and machete, or
That's it. He brings the pain. That's how he speaks.
he don't need. To
He
speak.
ends the pain.
Hey, he talks on the field.
Yeah, he don't need to speak.
yeah, he just talks on the field.
Worried about your light bill? Jason Voorhees to take care of that. Worried about your phone bill? Jason Voorhees to take care of that. You'll never have to pay those again because it won't matter.
But I'll go first. I like this off the Dark Knight Rises Batman, and it is
Dark Knight, right? So that'd be
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. Yeah.
So his quote, it is a pretty damn good quote. Introduce a little anarchy, upset the established order, and everything becomes chaos. That's pretty damn cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn cool.
I tell you, and one of the more iconic quotes he had in that movie was the "Why so serious?"
Yeah, yeah.
Which is simple and to the point. Why so serious?
Well, now his introduction in that movie is epic as hell, and I had a hard time.
Oh, you talking about the beginning of the movie?
When he said, whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you, and he takes the mask off, stranger. And I was like, oh shit, bad motherfucker right there.
That's one of my favorite opening scenes in a movie is that with Heath Ledger as the Joker. The whole sequence, the way it runs through.
Yeah, and you just wondering when am I going to see him? When am I going to see him? And I didn't
What's up?
I didn't know that he was one of the clowns.
Well, I didn't either until but the whole sequence where he was killing
the bus driver.
Yeah, but he had set up everything for everybody to kill everybody.
That
except
was
him to keep all the money, and then he gets in the bus. Had a bus right at the time when they robbed the bank to when they left for all the schools were getting out. So the bus blended right in with the rest of them,
Yeah.
And it was like that whole opening scene was, to me, was kind of genius. It was like, I like the way it went. And Heath Ledger, I think, was one of the best Jokers.
Oh, yeah. He was extremely well at it.
Now, Jack Nicklaus.
He was extremely.
Was the original.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the original in the movies.
Yeah, in the movies.
They had the Joker. They had who was the guy in the TV show or whatever.
Oh,
but when they made the movie, Jack Nicklaus was the Joker. But do you know he actually talked to Heath Ledger about, because Heath Ledger apparently was he was one of these guys when he did a role, he immersed himself into the role,
Oh, yeah.
and tried to actually become him while he was filming it, And Jack Nicklaus, or Jack Nicholson, not Nicholas, but actually talked to Heath Ledger about it and told him how he needs to be careful because you can get lost in this character, when you're studying it and getting ready to play it, how
powerful it can be. How it can
and
take
how
over.
it can take over. And of course, Heath Ledger died before the movie was released, after he made the movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the whole sequence of how everything worked, but I think Heath Ledger did every bit as good as Jack Nicholson.
Oh, yeah.
I think in his own right, I think so, yeah. And he's probably one of my favorite Jokers.
Jack Nicholson made the character when he did it was more, it wasn't as dark.
Right.
But it still worked when they did it.
It was perfect.
It was perfect.
And it was such a tragedy that he died because you knew at the end that, okay, it might not be the next one, but he's coming back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, the next one's probably going to be even fucking better,
Yeah.
So you said that was one of your favorite openers, which was a Heath Ledger movie. I mean, or a role that he played.
when Chris mentioned that's it.
Yeah.
I started thinking about it, and it's like I can see the whole opening scene like in my head now, just playing out the whole thing.
It had that much
going
of an
from
impact.
going from the guys on the roof cutting the power. And you got the guy behind talking about, so who's this guy we're working for?
calling the Joker,
the dialogue that they spent, and the guy behind him pulling the gun
building
out.
him up,
Pulling the gun out.
And the whole time they're doing this,
and shoots him.
It ain't doing nothing but building the Joker
the
up.
hell
That's all they're doing.
They shooting him for, and it was like this whole build-up was you kill everybody. They
Everybody
didn't know
kills
that.
everybody.
They
That's
didn't
right.
know that.
Right.
They all thought they were working for the same cause to get rich, rob this bank. But the Joker had set everything up in the movie to where he was going to be the only one left. Where he'd take all the money. He was going to pay these people, but their job was not to tell anybody else. But they were going to kill the guy in front of them. And the whole opening scene, I remember watching. I was like, the first scene I think where it opens on the, and I might be wrong about this, but it opens on the roof where he's breaking into the power grid or whatever. He's got a mask on. He's sitting there talking to the guy who's with him. He's like, so what? They call this guy the Joker or whatever, and they said, so what do we do? And the guy pulls his gun out after he says, "Well, I'm supposed to wait on you to finish just what you did," and shoots him. And you're like, the hell, and then it just goes from there, and then it goes down into the bank where he had hired, the Joker had hired 12 people or
And wasn't
10,
gonna have
12
to pay
people.
nobody.
Yeah, because they were all going to be dead before he took off with all the money. I just thought that whole opening scene was
Brilliant.
the way it was, especially the way they shot it, too.
Yeah.
The way you watching it, I was like, this is going to be a great movie. Just
I'm
based
telling
off
you,
that.
it was
but,
badass.
And I like Heath Ledger from a lot of other movies,
Like westerns and-
yeah, but I mean, I wanted to see him portray the Joker, but what? No, I know what you're talking about. No. But it.
Did you see what he did to get the
Oh,
mindset?
he saw.
Yeah, he
saw.
did a lot of stuff.
Well,
And-
not even the drugs he did. The uppers and downers he was taking. I'm just saying he would. They said he would, the morning of a shoot or something, he would walk around.
He
and
got
just-
in. He got into the.
Yes.
He immersed himself into the character.
Like-
and he stayed in it while he was filming.
And they said it was hard for him to come out the character because
Well, and
they got
that's
so
what
deep into it.
that's what Jack Nicholson was talking about. He was, when he did the first Joker, he was like, he called
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, he called Heath and told him, be careful messing with his character because if you try and go too deep with it, it can affect you.
Yeah.
And obviously it did, or something else.
Seems
did, but
like it did.
Yeah, because he didn't live to see the release of it.
There was one particular scene where they was about to shoot. I don't know what scene it was, but they was about to shoot a scene with him in it. And he told the director, he said, "I'm gonna come out the trailer. You say action. I'm gonna be ready." They said he stormed out the trailer, laughing hysterically. And they said shoot, and he was in character from the moment he come out the trailer, and it was like the most perfect scene. He was on his shit. I mean, that's dedication right there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and he was Heath Ledger, I think, for all intents and purposes, I think he was like a method actor where he kind of, that's what he did, was he engrossed himself into the characters he played, where he lived them while he was filming it. He kind of, you have certain actors who can turn it on and off. They could be themselves when the director yells, action.
Yeah.
They're the character.
Yeah.
But you have other actors who don't, either they can't do it that way or they don't do it that way. They would rather, in order to get a better portrayal of the character they're playing, they try and become the character.
You need to go on YouTube and look at Christian Bale's comments about Heath Ledger and that on that whole movie, and what he has to say is just freaking crazy. He's like, I didn't know Heath Ledger. He said the whole movie, I knew the Joker. I didn't see Heath Ledger. He said I'd never seen him not.
So
in
he
character.
never broke character. He
never.
And that's what I'm
And
saying.
he said it was
I-
just weird because usually, people hang out with, he was like, that never happened. He,
But
said, he was always in his
that's what
trailer
I'm
on
saying
set. In
is-
his trailer on set.
That's what I'm saying is most actors, they, differentiate between their self and the character, and they can like when the action is action, they become the character. Then
Yeah.
Heath Ledger, apparently from everything I read, when he took on a role, he became that character until the end of filming. Like he didn't break character. So like what you're talking about when Christian Bale would see Heath Ledger, on set like during lunch or whatever when they'd be on break. Heath Ledger will still be portraying the Joker.
Yeah.
I mean,
Still in a role.
he'd still be, it'd be like, dude, we're sitting here having lunch, man. I mean, this, the movies, we're not filming anything. He'd be like, Heath Ledger would be still in character.
You can't be trying to kill the cafeteria workers, man.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's a good one, Chris. I like
That was a good
that
one.
was.
That
Thank
was-
you.
that was really
Thank you. I
impressive.
worked hard on that today.
You did.
That was, but that was a good one, though. I usually don't say that much about Chris.
Well, that was a good choice. Very good
But-
choice.
I give you 2 thumbs up.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Scott. That means a lot coming from you.
I'm sure it does.
Y'all got any? Well, what's yours?
Well, Carol, you got one?
I do got one.
What you got? Bo, what you itching for?
Scratching my shoulder.
Bo, you
man.
got lice or something?
Scratching my-
You need a bath?
Not
Need
today.
soap?
I might need some soap. And
I
a
mean, I
bath.
can help you out.
Can you?
You smell
Start a little
funny, and you
GoFundMe for me?
look dirty.
Go
Do we
fund
need
me. Start
Did
a
you
little
bathe
GoFundMe
today?
for me. I did bathe today.
Are
Yes.
you sure?
I'm positive. Before I work, you talking about
You
starting
look like a
little,
boykin.
We need
I
a
don't know
back-
about all that now. You can back up, but
Hey,
I
look.
don't think you need to.
He looks like a Brewington or a boykin.
We need to at least stay 8 feet apart.
8 feet apart. 8 feet apart.
Scott, you
So-
don't back up again with them tiny ass shorts on, Bo.
Tiny shorts.
He got 2 squirrels fighting in his britches right now. You sitting on your nuts, Bo?
No, I'm not.
My God, don't back up again. What's going on here? He's like, he giving me compliments. I'm gonna back up. I'm just kidding. You ain't got nothing down there. I don't see shit. See camel.
I don't know why you looking at my crotch.
Carol's
He
like,
is. He
there's
is.
30 minutes of editing.
No, I'm gonna let that ride.
We way off the rails here.
Oh,
We're supposed to be talking about Carol's his topic on the quotes.
Yeah.
Villain quote.
So the villain quote. So to give an honorable mention, because it ain't really a villain talking, but I remember in like Halloween 4 when Dr. Loomis said, if you're talking about him like he's human, that part of him died a long time ago. Like that always stuck with me, but Dr. Loomis.
That's a cool quote. Yeah, but that's not the villain. That's
right. So
that's a cool quote in a horror movie.
right. So I wanted to get that as an honorable mention because Dr. Loomis was not a villain. But so
He would. You know how many people like Dr. Loomis though? Looked up to Dr. Loomis as far as the actor. I mean, his character. He portrayed Dr.
probably
A lot of people.
Yeah.
I know you. I think we watched that movie
a bunch of
yeah. times and loved it every time. We said, the same quote you just mentioned
Yeah.
from him.
Oh yeah.
And he said so many quotes too.
Yeah.
What was the one he said where he finally called it to Michael at the diner where Michael had killed everybody in the diner, and he looks at me, he's like, "Oh, Michael." He sees Michael standing back in the back of the kitchen.
Yeah.
Where he walks in the door. He's at the bar.
Yeah. He wants
He's like,
to.
"Oh, Michael." He's like, "God damn you, Michael!" He tries to shoot you.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I remember that.
He has so many quotes that was like that. It was like, if one person Michael Myers was scared of,
Yeah. He stayed
it
away.
was
from
Loomis.
Dr.
Yeah, he didn't
Loomis.
want to get up with Dr. Loomis.
No, he tried.
Which one? It was hilarious. I forgot it It's the one where he's in the asylum with Michael Myers, which he was little at the time. He made all the masks. Which actor was that? What was his guy? He's the French guy or the
I think you're talking
white-haired
about.
guy.
So you're talking about the
The-
Rob Zombie remake.
Oh yeah.
I think so.
I think that's what you're talking
because
about.
his outtakes is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, you're talking about Rob Zombie's take on Halloween.
Yeah, that's my favorite one. But yeah, Dr. Loomis, he called all kind of shit.
Oh,
he
yeah.
messed his ass up though.
He had a job that I would not want. Scott, you would want that job, but
No,
not me.
I wouldn't want
Yeah,
that job.
not
You
me.
wouldn't want that job, Scott?
No.
I would not even want him to know who I was, what I looked like, where I lived, what
All right.
town I was from.
Anyway, that's your honorable mention.
And that is my honorable mention. So moving along, so Chucky, we'll be friends to the end.
Child's
We're friends,
Play.
child's
Yeah.
play. We're friends to the end because he's planning on killing your ass. But that always kind of stuck out. Wasn't really nothing gruesome or nothing really, ironic or anything like that, or iconic, I should say. But it was always, it would be in the little doll voice before he turned, demonic and brutal and tried to cut your throat with a butcher knife. So that
Man.
always kind of stuck with me. And there were some scary parts in Chucky, I guess, but for me it was hard to. I mean, because he's just a little doll. Like it was hard for me to really get into that as far as
I get scared about it. It was.
You watch him, you'd be like, I'll fuck him up. I'd kick the shit out of him.
It'd be like when he comes around right now. It'd be like
Yeah,
upside the wall.
kick him. But so that was a villain quote. That was, I guess it just kind of always annoyed me when I would hear or whatever. But it stuck with me for a long
Wonder
time.
whose phone that dinged.
I don't
just
know. That was
now.
twice.
I mean, it interrupted
That
me
was
in my
mine.
train of thought.
And I know what, Dean, because somebody sent me a damn text.
I was testing you.
I know what you were doing. I'm trying to get to my fucking phone.
I didn't try to get to your phone. Your stupid ass out of date phone. Your damn track phone.
H phone.
he bought $20 worth of minutes today.
You better quit messaging me
Hey.
too.
It's a damn trap phone. I got the fucking iPhone 1.
He got to download minutes on his phone. You have 6 minutes available.
Yeah, six.
Well, Scott be like, that's good. That's a month's worth right there.
And I got unlimited minutes, thank you.
Oh, you bought that $50 card. Oh, God. Woo!
So Chucky was just kind of annoying, I guess, for the most part. But a lot of people liked it, and it
Yeah.
done fairly well. So that's my
Chucky,
choice.
man, it is-
You didn't like
I
Child's
tell-
Play?
I like the older ones, like the first and the second one.
Yeah.
As it went along, like
What
with
the-
the Bride of Chucky, I'm like, okay, God,
What
that's like
that's
Sharknator. You know what I'm saying?
That's almost like all of them, The first couple are good, and then they try and capitalize off of the making money, and they get
Yeah.
worse and worse and worse.
I'm like, yeah, just stop.
Instead of building something better.
Just like the what you call it franchise, the Fast and the Furious.
Oh God, yeah. I think
like
I
20
think I
of 'em.
watched 3 of them,
I mean,
and then I quit after that. I was like,
you didn't watch the ones with The Rock.
no, I didn't.
the only
goodness.
franchise that I can think of that's actually either gotten better or not sucked as it went on is Hellraiser.
Oh well, that explains a lot. Cause the other night I was at my house. My wife had already gone to bed. My daughter had gone to bed. I was up watching TV. I was like, let me find something to watch. I come across on Amazon Prime Studio 666.
Oh,
I was like, Chris has been talking so much. He's been building this movie up.
yeah.
I'm going to click play and watch it.
Did you watch it twice?
Click play, started watching it. I got through about 20 minutes of it, had to fucking cut it off. I was like,
Are you serious?
yes, I was. No, I was sitting there thinking, is fucking
fucking
Chris
lying.
serious?
No, he's
watching
fucking
this
lying.
shit. I was like,
No.
storyline, nothing. But I mean, I could have made a movie in my fucking bathroom that was as good as that damn
If
thing.
he damn would have watched, he would have screenshot and sent it us. You lying.
I didn't screenshot because after I watched, I was like, I wasted 20 fucking minutes watching this. I was like, I can't even watch the rest of it.
It was that bad.
And I know you're lying because you got the bite.
Now, Chris swears
It
by
was
that movie.
that bad. It was fucking awful.
I know you're lying.
It was awful.
I know you're lying.
I am like, for real. I was like, Chris recommended this movie. I was like, there's no storyline. I was like, the whole thing is stupid. It's just senseless gore is all it is. I mean, I'm like,
So if you
I
had
could fucking make that damn movie.
So if you had to watch it again and watch Blair Witch Project, which one would you choose?
I would poke my eyes out and watch Blair Witch Project.
Damn.
Cut my ears off.
He's full of
Did you and Ryan
shit.
discuss any of this movie?
I'm fucking.
I
with
know
you.
you're full of shit. I'm confident in you because you got the bite, and I know your cheap ass ain't gonna bite. It's got to be like $3. That's damn a week's worth of lunch. I can't buy that shit. I gotta buy my lunch.
Nah, I'm fucking with you. I haven't watched it yet. I do. I still plan on watching it though. But
I bet you do. I bet you do.
That was just to fuck with you.
All right. So continue on, Carol.
No, I'm good.
All right. What you got, Scott?
We're moving along to Scott.
All right, going to me. I am gonna do
And commercial break.
one of my favorite movies ever. That I love watching. I still watch when I see it come on TV, or if I'm home looking for something to do and I happen to think about it, I'll watch it again. I think it's a great movie, and one of the lines that might not be the most iconic line in that movie, but I think the most iconic line in that movie, which everybody talked about, was I'm talking about the movie Silence of the Lambs.
Oh yeah.
And the most iconic line I think might be where he talks about.
Do you dream?
Well, no, where he says, "I ate her liver. I ate his liver with some fava beans and some Chianti." That's about the most the line that got the most.
That's a good
notoriety
movie.
in the movie. But the one line that, and I think it goes with the way the character plays, or what the actor plays the character in that movie, the way he delivers the line, and all, to me, is just it's a line I can watch over and over again. And it's with Buffalo Bill has the senator's daughter down
God.
in the hole. I
already know what she's about to say.
It rubs the lotion on his skin.
Yeah.
I mean that line to me, I'm like, and just
it does what it's told.
Yeah, watching that scene, and seeing the way he acts when it shows him there, and she's like, Mister, please, she's down in the hole, and he's like, it rubs the lotion on its skin, and he's so calm the way he says it, and he's like, yeah, petting the dog, talking about, it rubs the lotion on its skin, or it gets the hose again. Yeah. I'm like, God, yeah, when it does that, but she puts the lotion on, and then he lowers down the bucket, and he's like, it puts the lotion in the basket. And she's sitting there holding the lotion.
He does it so well.
That guy, what's his name? Ted Levine. Ted Levine.
Ted Levine.
Yeah, his acting in that movie. I mean, I've gone back and watched that part, especially when he tells it puts the lotion in the basket when he lowers the basket down for her to put the lotion in so he can bring it back up. And she's down there screaming, crying, talking about, my parents have a lot of money. Please, we'll pay you anything. And he says, it puts the lotion in the basket. You can tell he starts getting upset. And she keeps screaming and crying, holding the lotion. And when the camera pans back up to him, it looks like from him hearing her crying, he looks like he's you could tell it's upsetting him, and like he's almost about to cry. He's like, and I was sitting there at the first time I ever saw it, I was like, she's getting to him. Her emotion is getting to him, like he's maybe starting to think that what he's doing is not right, but he's like, you put the fucking lotion in the basket. I was like, God damn. But I mean, that whole so I guess you could say my one quote would be it rubs the lotion on its skin.
Yeah.
But
put the fucking lotion in the basket.
The whole sequence, that whole thing from it rubs the lotion on the skin to it puts the lotion in the basket and then put the fucking lotion in the basket. I think the whole scene's like maybe 4 minutes long or whatever. But that
movie.
To me, and I went over. I mean, you have so many iconic scenes. You could go with Jack.
Nichols.
Yeah, on The Shining. Here's Johnny.
Here's Johnny.
There's so many iconic lines, but to me, that was the one that it still sticks out to me today. It's still something that like I can bring up in my head, in my mind, and be like, I can hear it
and play the whole scene
in my head. Play the whole thing. Play the mannerisms of both characters when they're acting, doing it out. Yeah. But I mean, it was to me that's one of the classic scenes in that movie. And there's another one where he's in front of the mirror too, has the music playing.
Oh yeah,
that's a crazy one there. Oh my God, that whole movie I think is great. That's why it's one of my favorite movies. I mean, I think that would be one of my top 10 movies of all time. Silence of the Lambs.
Oh wow,
the acting in it is great from everybody,
from all sides.
Yeah, from everybody who was in there.
Yeah.
The acting is great. I mean, it's just it's a movie that I can watch over and over and over again. And
it's a good movie.
It is. It's a great movie.
Do you watch much TV besides horror movies?
Yeah, I do.
It's one of your favorite shows or movies that you.
Well,
you a Yellowstone guy?
I cut the cord on cable years ago, so I don't have cable anymore. But I have like Netflix and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I watch. I mean, I watch stuff that I used to watch when I was younger, And so I watch like Seinfeld's one of my favorite shows. Still one of my favorite shows.
Show.
And Yellowstone. I watch Yellowstone. I like Yellowstone. I think it's a good show.
It is.
I think Breaking Bad. I think it's a great show.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad is one of my favorite TV shows. I think it's top 3 of all time.
Yeah.
So I mean, I watch stuff like that.
I got you.
I mean, I think I've gone back and watched Breaking Bad. I think Breaking Bad come out in 2008. I think.
Yeah, somewhere along.
2008, I think was the first season.
Yeah.
And I didn't start watching Breaking Bad until, I think 2012 when it was almost over with, because I think there was 5 seasons.
Yeah.
So it was already just about done with before I started watching it, and I watched it from reading stuff and hearing everybody talk about how good it was. So I wanted to watch it, and I've heard that about a lot of other shows. From reading stuff, and there's been a lot of shows I watched and like. Didn't care for it or whatever. But that show, when I started watching it, character development in that show too was great from everybody in there. Which that's off topic. We're not talking.
Yeah,
about
no, I was just curious. People might be curious.
Okay, but so you asked that question because why? Is there something that you were going to ask me about?
I was just wondering if you had. Because I know you big into horror movies and you watch a lot of horror movies. And I like Chris. I know Chris likes Yellowstone. He watches different things.
Yeah, no, I think Yellowstone, I think, is a great show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. I love anything with Yellowstone in it.
But it was just...
I would put Yellowstone in my top 10 TV shows.
Yep, it is a good show. I never really got into Yellowstone until, I would hear Chris and Daryl talking about it when I started watching it. I just
Yeah.
was watching it. And then they come out with 1883, and
Yeah, I've watched all the spin-offs.
you just get glued to stuff like that.
Yeah, I like the 1883. The one with Harrison Ford, I started watching that, and I think I watched 3 episodes. I hadn't finished that yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it was that
It's
one
okay.
didn't. That one
It
didn't hold my
won't take off.
attention as much as
The
1883
with
and
Tim
Yellowstone.
McGraw and
Yeah, 1883 I thought was great.
It is.
Because it had one of Robert Duvall, one of my all-time favorite actors.
Old Lonesome Dove.
Yep.
That's a good show. All right. So anyway, moving along.
Yep.
Let's
So
do it on the horror
that's mine.
topics.
I think we're going to switch topics. We
Switch.
go into our guitar topic. Chris, what do we got?
Oh,
You remember?
It is. What's that damn word? Who is the
Villain?
Yeah. Wait a minute, but it provides
The biggest perceived.
the biggest who for guitars. Who or what is the biggest perceived villain in the music industry? And that means a person, a label, or a band. So basically, who's the biggest asshole that causes the most trouble? Anarchy in that area.
Yep.
So I'm going off, kind of off track here.
Well, hold on. We got to do a.
Oh God! How dare me? I'm doing business and trying to do podcasts at the same time. But anyway, yeah. Oh, here we got a wob, ladies and gentlemen. Weak ass bladder, number 1.
Number 1.
Got number 2. Y'all going to pee together? You gonna cross streams? I am by myself, ladies and gentlemen. I am by myself at the damn table. I'm talking to y'all. Hell, I'm gonna do this whole damn show by myself. This this weak ass bladder break is brought to you by. God, can y'all be professional for 10 damn minutes? 10 damn minutes. God. Hey, welcome back, asshole. Just leave me hanging.
You got me a shot? We're supposed to be doing a shot.
Yeah, I got mine ready. Chris has got the bucket.
Chris, you were in charge of shots.
I got you, homie.
Well, if you had me, I would have had one here. Instead of talking about wob and all that.
Wob.
Got you, homie.
You already got one. Put that one back up.
That's none of your damn business. How about that?
All right. Can I get a shot?
All right, hey,
I want a shot glass.
Thank
like
you,
Carol.
Trey, for this shot. I appreciate it, man. Hey,
Thanks, Trey.
You're doing a great job back there.
All right, topic number 2.
Here we
Underway.
go. Cheers.
Ready?
Yep. That fireball be hitting, son.
It does.
You could have got
Especially
some armadillo.
when these things are more than a shot.
I got them buttered apples and sex on the beach too. I guess y'all
Hell,
know
do you?
that. Yeah.
Hell no.
Got to keep this alcohol flowing.
All right, on to the guitar topics.
All right.
Do we have anybody who wants to start?
I can start.
Yeah, he can start.
Chris is handling a little business. So I'm gonna go with so the one the one story I remember is like when Aerosmith like released their first album, I guess. Their managers at the time,
So that would have been in the early 70s.
early 70s, like they recorded their first album or whatever. They didn't own any rights to it, and Steve.
Most of the
Lieber.
bands back then didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, they got screwed out.
Yeah, a
of
lot of people got. I mean, in
Yeah.
Aerosmith, things turned out well for them, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that didn't. But that Steve Lieber and David Krebs, like they owned all the rights, So Aerosmith wasn't. I'm sure they were making money too.
Ain't that some shit though? I mean, if you think about it, how many from back in the I think it went all the way back to the 50s, all the way to
yeah.
about the 80s. You had the producers and the record label execs and all that. They owned the rights to. Didn't even write one note in a damn song,
and owned it all.
and they owned it all. They made all the money off of it. They could take it, use it for, commercials or whatever, and they'd get paid for it. The band wouldn't see anything. How it was screwed up. How that whole fucking system worked back then. It was
You out playing big shows and you starving to death, trying to get a bologna
yeah.
sandwich.
Something's not right there.
Yeah, but
and it happened to so many bands and so many big bands who
Yeah.
had all these big
oh yeah,
hits.
they done Aerosmith like that. They done AC/DC and they done Joan Jett. Those two managers right there. So they were
So they were scum of the earth,
they were taking
so to speak.
what was not theirs, and their families are still prospering off of it. I'm sure,
Wow.
unless they've sold the rights, and they probably hadn't, because
Yeah.
keeps them working.
That's crazy how that whole system was set up, though. How it worked,
is.
I mean, it should have been the band who writes the music. It should have been set up to where that's their property.
Yeah.
They wrote the music, they record it, but it all gets split up.
Somebody
and-
takes it and they
Yes.
get a percent, because, hey, when I write something, it might not never be worth nothing, but now I own the copyrights to it, because I checked that off the list immediately.
That's a whole lot different in 2010 and
Yeah.
and it was in
74,
19 or 1950 or
73,
1960 or 70.
You're right, it
Yeah.
is.
But I mean, yeah, because everything's evolved since then.
It
But
has, but-
that was for bands that it really sucked that they got screwed like that.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine how you would feel? I mean, they just sent me a bill for this bologna sandwich. We ain't got no money. Because
Yeah, or to be on tour and you our album just sold 1 million copies. We just got a bill for $30,000. What the hell,
yeah, well, we can't afford to pay it. I mean, you look at MC Hammer. He tried to help everybody, and ultimately,
That's a nice dude. He
is.
had that.
He's super nice.
He's a family man. I don't know if you ever watched his TV show, his Hammer Time, or Putting the Hammer Down, or something.
Man, I still got some of them pants.
No, he was a super nice guy, man. He was
It's
super
Hammer
nice guy.
Time.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's good.
he is a good guy, and he ultimately tried to keep people working, which in the end it broke him, but he tried to do right, but he
Yeah, well, I think he had at one time. I think he had like 80 employees on his payroll. Now he was paying all of them.
yeah even when they went on tour making albums or doing whatever,
He was still paying them.
He was still
He had an
paying.
entourage that he paid around the clock.
He tried to do the right thing. He just didn't have the income to afford it. But you can't knock him for. I mean, is he the best businessman? He's better than anyone,
He could have used some help in the
but
business situation, but
Yeah.
he was trying to help out family
He
and friends.
was, family.
There's nothing wrong with that, but I think also there were a lot of people who took advantage of him.
They did, but he. I think he's doing all right. But anyway,
Yeah, now I think he's doing all right.
But managers, that's my choice. Those two, because they took rights to stuff. that
Who
they
was
did
it
not
again?
own.
What were their names?
It was David. It was Steve Lieber and David Krebs.
And so they were both with Aerosmith.
Aerosmith, they got the rights to their first album, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm pretty sure it's the first album. But they, I guess, managed AC/DC and Joan Jett, among others. They
They probably
managed to
screwed him
pillage
out,
from
too.
their artists by taking all of their publishing. Definition of scumbag or shrewd. That's what
Wow.
I'm reading.
That's some harsh words right there.
Hey, that's what I'm reading though. Not my words, but
That's some harsh words.
And there's to every story. There's three sides to every story.
Yeah.
You got your side, his side, and then the truth.
yeah.
So who knows? It might be
Yeah.
somewhere in the middle. They might be some good dudes. I don't know.
They could be, but
And maybe they were thinking they were doing the right thing.
I just because I remember seeing the Aerosmith story and it stuck out. They didn't, and that's what made me think about it. So because I think that's been talked about a lot over the years, but that is my choice.
That's a good choice, dude.
I
That is a good
appreciate it.
choice.
That was a good choice.
I appreciate it.
Go ahead, Scott. I want to hear yours.
Well,
All right, good next subject. Nobody gives a shit what you think, Scott. It doesn't matter what your subject is.
We should have done this fucking show when he was still on the road.
Stuck and
And
driving.
when he said, y'all go ahead and do the show or wait for me, we should have said, we can go ahead and do the show.
It'd have been fucking creakers in here with y'all too. Is it your turn
Call
to talk,
Rocky.
Scott?
Where's Rocky?
I don't know.
Where's Rocky?
Yeah, Rocky. They're trying to replace my ass with you, but you ain't coming.
We didn't know. We waited on you. Even though it's late in the night now.
Having some
we
libations.
usually all at home about now, except Carol. She's sleeping on the
You was
couch.
up here the other night at 3 o'clock in the
Don't be
morning talking
telling
about,
people
is
we're
that
asleep."
daylight?
Yeah, you was here late last time. You and Trey.
Is that... The sky looks a little light.
Okay, well, let's skip that. We're
But
not
in
talking
Scott's
about that.
defense, he quit drinking at like 2:50. So.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So I had a whole 20 minutes before I left. I was like,
I can see it. Damn, I got to do peanuts tomorrow. I got to play off field. I got to be in a tractor all night.
no, plowing is done with. So apparently you don't know anything about farming.
He's spraying.
Well, I know one thing. It's illegal to leave shit uncovered.
It
I do
is.
know that.
Yes, it is.
That's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard in my life. I'll take a shit in the woods right now. You gonna cover it up? Is it gonna bother you if I shit in the woods?
No, there's a little bit of difference. You taking
Hey
a
guys,
shit
I
in the
got
woods.
Chris shit in the woods. I got to cover it up.
And we have truckloads of chicken manure come and dump it in a field where it's piled up like a mountain. There's a little bit of a difference.
It's just a big old pile of dinosaur shit. That's all it is.
It's not dinosaur shit.
Well, if it was a dinosaur, that's how tall it'd be.
Yeah, but there are no more dinosaurs. It's chicken shit. And guess what?
A bunch of little rabbit turds.
DHEC standards, it has to be covered up because it draws flies.
He caused problems that night. Made us late on a podcast. Hey guys, I got to.
All right, let's not rehash old shit, so to speak.
You said it.
Yeah,
Flush the toilet and move on.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Cover the shit up. Let's
flush
move
it
on.
down. We done with it.
All right, we're
All
done.
right.
Anyway,
Scott.
mine. What are we doing again now?
Rock. Music
We're
villains.
doing-
Music villains.
Music villains. Okay. I got sidetracked.
Oh my god.
Shit.
By
I got
Chris.
sidetracked.
I'm dead.
Got sidetracked by Chris.
Oh my god.
All right, so music villains, and mine. I'm kind of going down a little dark territory here, and this is somebody who I have. Oh man, I have ever since I heard about this story. I've hated this guy.
Really?
Real, yeah. I'm talking about with a passion. And I know this show is supposed to be fun and entertaining. People I'm going down to a dark part with this topic, and I'm not going to get into a whole bunch of details with it. I'm going to tell you who it is, but it's Ian Watkins. Y'all know who that is?
No, who was that?
He was the lead singer for a band called Lost Prophets.
I remember Lost Prophets.
Lost Prophets
Yeah.
actually was pretty big in the early 2000s. I think 2006 they had a pretty popular song called Rooftops. That was like a top 10 song or top 20 song. And so they were a band who was kind of on their up and up
on the rise.
on the way.
They had that song called Shinobi versus Ninja Dragon.
I think I think so.
Yeah.
But their singer, and they're a band from Wales, so they were in the UK. You know, and his name was either Ian or Ian. I don't know. I guess it's from UK, probably Ian. You know, but he committed, and he right now is in jail.
Shit.
No.
Yeah. But he got charged with child porn.
Oh.
Yeah, and actually doing sexual acts against children. But the story is so crazy. When I first read about this, I was like, "You got to be kidding me! This guy needs to be locked up under the jail." Well, actually, he don't need to be living. They need to go ahead and kill his ass, because I mean, it's that bad. And I'm not going to get graphic in any of the things, but he actually had fans of his bring their children backstage with him and do sexual acts on both of them. So he had the mothers of these kids participating
With kids.
their children.
I hope they locked them up too.
Well, they did. They locked two of them up. There was two girls who had two kids. One of them was an 11-month-old child.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I read this stuff. I was like, it made me sick to my stomach, you know. I was like, this guy needs to be fucking shot. Like now, he don't need to be in jail. He needs to be shot. You know,
Agreed.
Needs to be get rid of him, because in the trial, you know, and because when I first started following this thing, I started following, you know, because I was like, you know, it's disgusting and sick. In his trial, when the judge was reading him his sentence, he had no remorse.
Oh, I bet not.
Sitting there, and the judge actually, they gave him his full sentence that he could receive, which was 29 years.
He got the full.
And he got the full 29 years, and the judge put on that 6 years after he gets out that he has to be monitored for 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah, because the judge was like, you know, seeing your conduct and everything that we have that you have done, you know, society is not safe with you being out in it. So by our law, what we can give you, we have given you the maximum sentence. He said, I don't think that's strong enough. So I'm going to go, when you get out, 6 years, you're going to have to be monitored, you know. And if he breaks that monitorization, you know, he goes back to prison.
Yeah.
But
And someone like that you shouldn't let out of prison.
no, and that's my whole thinking.
should
I'm
be
like,
up to the judge.
law should be for people who do stuff like that to kids. And I know we're not a political show. You know, we usually stay away from stuff like this. But when I saw this thing, it really hit me, not just because I'm a parent, but because it disgusts me that you have people out there who prey on
children.
On children, yeah. And so I was like, there needs to be something other for people who do this stuff to children. To me, I don't care if you ever see the light of day again.
Right.
And not only that, I think you need to be
Banished.
not only have taxpayers pay for your stay in a state penitentiary or whatever, you need to be gone, you know, done. You know? And I don't care whether it's, you know, the guillotine or gas or whatever, shoot, you know, by, you know, whatever. You need to be buried and done with. So that way nobody has to worry about you doing something to somebody else. You know? But so to me, that, and I don't know if you'd call that a villain or a monster, but to me, that's what it's. Ian Watkins
You
from
would call that
Lost
a villain and a monster.
Prophets. But, and also, I saw this in a couple interviews. I don't know if this was ever discovered to be true, because articles write stuff all the time. It's not true, but the authorities apparently, when they got his laptop and opened it up to see all the stuff that he was doing, where they convicted him from, where like, it showed him with these girls with their kids performing sexual acts all together. Apparently, to get into his laptop, his password, because they had like forensics guys come in to figure out what it was. His password was, and I don't know if this is true.
It could be a rumor, but you've heard it.
It could be a rumor. I've heard it from like 2 or 3 different sources that I read. So and whether it's true or not, but it's still it's one of the things that made me sick to my stomach. His password was, "I fuck kids."
Oh God!
To get into his computer. Man, and I'm like, I remember telling my wife, reading her this story, and she didn't want to hear anymore. When I started telling her about everything,
yeah.
And she was like, stop, it's making me sick. I don't want to hear anymore. I'm like, well, I know it's making you sick, but guess what? In the world we live in today, you need to hear this stuff because it happens. You can always do, out of sight, out of mind, not think about it, and make yourself feel better. Guess what?
It still
happening. It's happening everywhere.
When I used to carry my kids, like if we'd go to the mall or something, and like if one of my kids went in the bathroom and I'd be standing there, because I didn't just let them go, and like I'd be watching, like if I was standing there and I seen some guy or something walk in, and 2 minutes was up, like I was walking in that bathroom to, because
I used to do that when Jordan was a kid.
Yeah.
I wouldn't stand outside the door. I'd walk in with him, and I would stand outside the stall where he was at.
Right.
Because I wouldn't, because
you don't know what happened.
Know.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing like now with Sierra and Skylar. If Skylar has to go to the bathroom, we in the mall, Sierra takes her in there. And I know she's in there with Sierra, so I know she's fine, but you don't know what's going on.
Right.
I walk and stand by the door.
Yeah.
And stand right there. Make sure, nothing's happening, because you never know.
No, because you don't know who, somebody.
And I know we're getting off on a different subject here, because our show's supposed to be fun and exciting. And I see Chris sitting there.
No, seriously.
But I think this is an important topic that people.
It's understandable, man. It's understandable. Yeah, especially as a parent, it's very understandable.
Well, and that's what I'm saying, and so that's why I think if we're getting back to it. This is the guy I think who was the villain of music, and like I say, I don't know if it's villain or monster, whatever you want to call it, but he's more of a monster.
That's a monster.
He's more of a monster than a villain, but. That's mine is Ian Watkins.
Because
I can't believe that, because I used to listen to that band.
I did too. I remember 2006. I think they had that song "Rooftops." Do you remember that song? It was I think it was like a top 10, top 15 hit on the rock radio channel. Because I remember that song. I was like, I like that song,
Yeah.
And I remember the band Lost Prophets, And then all this happened, and I was like, it's sickening when you hear about everything. It's like
that's
pretty
bad.
It kind of.
I think I'm gonna delete that off my damn YouTube search.
Because you think about the computer password you was talking about, and I was like, because I was thinking, hopefully that's a rumor, but whether it's a rumor or not, like he got convicted of worse things, so his computer password don't build up to nothing to what he did.
They got into his computer, so they had to get into it from breaking into it, so they had to figure out his password.
That is,
but he had stuff, and not to get graphic. I'm not trying to get graphic, but because I kept up with when all this happened. I was like, because it pissed me off so bad, and I watched it, and it was like, it was one of those things where like I kept thinking to myself, why are you watching this? And I was like, I kept telling myself, this is what's going on in the world. You can, shun it away, but it's not going away.
No,
you can forget about it, and you can live your happy life, and be like, everything's going on good in my life. There's nothing to worry about. But that's the same thing. It happened. It's happening out there to other people.
Yeah.
You know, and when you think about it, you know, you think about your child. You might have your child sheltered and careful. Like, it's not happening to my child. That's good. But it's happening to somebody else's child.
It's on my
somewhere.
mind, and I'm not gonna carry on with this. I'm gonna just say my piece. But when this unisex bullshit bathroom thing come out,
Yeah, that's crazy.
I wasn't happy with it, man.
And that has a lot to do.
Oh,
well,
my
I mean,
God.
that has something to do with it. But I mean, not a lot.
I'm
but
just saying
still.
that I was, you got me on that. But
I know. And
you gonna get? We better stop this because
I know because
my damn,
I'm not.
I feel my damn neck starting to pulsate.
I know, and every time I talk about it, I get upset and I start getting louder and louder and start yelling more.
Yeah,
So anyway, that's
Your titties is getting bigger. They start to pulsate.
So anyway, that's my villain, Ian Watkins from Lost Prophets.
Did you just take
and-
my damn shot?
What do you
And
think?
like I say, that might be more of a monster than a
Oh,
villain.
yeah, I know
But
you
anyway,
would.
he is a villain. And
That was a good one. But very surprising though, because I like that band.
okay, well, and
I can't like
did
them no
too.
more.
I did too. I liked them when they first come out, you know. And in the band's defense, most of the band came out and said they had no idea this was happening, and they, denounced everything that he was doing. Now, whether they knew anything or not, most of them said they didn't. All you can do is take people at their word, you know. And if that's the case, I hate it for those guys because their whole career was destroyed because of this guy.
Yeah,
You know,
'cause
their whole
they tied to him.
yeah. And when you hear Lost Prophets now, that's what you think about is the singer. You don't
But
think
I-
about the rest
well,
of the band.
But I don't know how mamas would bring kids backstage.
Well, and I don't either, but there was at least two
Yeah.
that they referenced in the court case. And I mean, and like one of them had an 11-month-old child.
Because
And this is that they had video from him recording.
yeah.
I mean, from them being together on the bus and video calls where like he was in a different city, they were at their home where he called them and wanted to get their child and do sexual things while he
Yes.
watched. The whole thing was, I was like, and both of those girls got jail time too,
And
which they should have.
Yeah.
But what is sad is those kids.
Yeah, that's because if me, you, and Chris played in a band and, we played different places, and I'd say, a mom and her kid just went back there where Scott was at. I mean, that's the second time this week. I think something's going on. Come on, let's go back there. I mean, it just...
Yeah.
So
but
the band
it is-
might not have knew about it, but I think they just said, well, we not
Well,
doing it, so let's ignore it.
I think one of them actually did say that, said, I noticed something looked strange when I saw certain things going on backstage.
But I ignored it. Or
Well, he was like, I didn't know if that was his girlfriend at the time, and maybe
I thought
her
R.
kid
Kelly
would
was
be-
bad, but this is
Who
bad.
knows?
Yeah.
Oh no! The whole thing is
That's
is-
bad.
It's yeah.
Damn,
it's,
Scott, I was
I'm
having
going
a
to
good
actually
time.
do some reading
I
up
know,
on
but
it
it's
stuff.
just yep. No, but
'Cause I
I
like to
would.
research
No,
it some.
actually, I would suggest everybody, both of y'all, anybody listening, go look up that case and read it. It's disturbing. I mean, it is disturbing. It makes you feel
Violated.
uneasy when you're
Yeah.
reading it, but that's what's out there in the world today. And I think the only way you deal with it is what's out there
Yeah.
to combat that. Because I mean, it's easy to say I don't want to see that. I don't want to think about that happening.
No, you
and
don't.
that's fine because in your life it might not be happening. But guess what? It's happening in somebody else's life.
Yeah.
And it's happening in other kids' life.
Right.
And the kids don't deserve that.
No.
They're innocent in this.
Yeah.
They have nothing to do with it.
No, not at all.
So I mean, anyway, not to try and bring the
No,
The
that
show
was a-
down.
that
Well,
was a-
too
that was a
fucking
good
late,
film.
buddy. I'm angry and sad at the
Chris,
same time.
Chris,
I need
what
a
you
fucking
got?
drink.
I know. Anyway, I will say, anybody who's listening, go look up the story, read it. It will really piss you off, and
You need a shot.
I hope if we're
And
doing
a
this,
cigarette. You need a cigarette and a shot.
I'm hoping though if you hear this and you're doing this, it will help bring awareness to there are people or kids who are being abused
Yeah.
by a lot of people,
Let's
and
take
they need help.
Come on, Scott. Let's. You getting fired up over you are sweating.
I am. I mean,
Your arms are sweating.
this-
You got
this
nasty
stuff-
ass, sweaty, hairy arms right now.
This stuff always fires me up.
I mean, that's like I remember when I seen where Jared from the Subway commercials that got locked up for child
Yeah.
pornography. I couldn't believe it because you never
couldn't
thought
either.
he was
You
that
never,
type.
I never thought he was that type. But there he is with getting arrested with child porn on his computer and all. And I think he had solicited some young kids.
Can't judge a book by its cover, buddy. Can't judge a book by its cover.
So anyway, let's try and
Moving along, Chris. Chris, you
I'm
got
gonna bring
a
us up.
back
I'm
up.
gonna bring us up. I'm gonna raise us from the
Climb that
ashes
mountain.
and climb that mountain of glory.
all right, climb it.
Mine is Suge Knight. So he
You
was
still banging
Death
about
Row
that Henry Van
Records.
Winkle.
He was Death Row Records. I mean, that's my point, though. He was really the music industry, villain back in that era.
Oh,
he
yeah, he was.
bullied his way to the top by either threatening your damn life or
Okay, but so I think I feel like you piggybacking off of Kimberly because she posted that earlier.
Oh,
What did she
Scott's
post?
been doing some
That
research.
Suge Knight was.
She didn't
her
post that
Ooh.
shit.
Yes, she did.
Where's it at?
Hey, that man.
Call
is-
Kimberly.
Well,
Or
boy,
text
boy,
Kimberly. Kimberly put Suge Knight
Hey, Scott knows some shit now.
because I was looking at that, and then when you said it, I was like, "This is like a damn fucking couple collaboration here." I was like, "Hell no!"
She really
Well,
put that?
hey,
Yeah,
but wait a
she put
minute now.
Suge Knight.
I
But-
didn't see
but-
her put
but
that.
now,
I saw her put
in Chris's defense, he can go with the same choice somebody else makes.
She put it on guillotines and guitars.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
No, she didn't.
Hey, you can go with
but
that
hey,
choice.
you can still stay
you can
with it.
choose the
She
same thing
put-
she does. If she happens to choose a choice that you like, that's okay.
Let's see.
It keeps the house happy
Kimberly.
if you think.
I
the same
run
way
my
she
house.
does.
You don't worry about my house. I run my house.
But hey, you can still pick the same one. It don't matter. That's fine. Because I mean, this is a group session, so I mean, you
She-
can have the
she
same
just-
thing.
It's an open topic.
She just
Yeah.
put her favorite villain was Jack Nicholson.
What's below
dickhead.
that?
Nothing. Jeffrey Furr. That's
I'm-
it. That's all. That's all she put.
Are you sure?
I think you done got so upset. You seeing
I-
shit.
No, somebody put Suge Knight. I thought it was Kimberly.
It was.
Is that door unlocked? Trey's coming to crash the podcast.
Really?
It's a
Oh, I
lot.
just got his message.
But
Anyway, actually thinking about it, it might have been Jeffrey who said Suge Knight.
No, I think it was Kimberly.
you need to find it because I don't believe that shit.
Anyway, go ahead. Suge Knight is yours.
So Suge
Tell
Knight.
us about Suge Knight.
So you know his real name? Do you know his real name?
I
Did you
do
know he
not.
played in the NFL?
No, it was Jeffrey Furr. It was not Kimberly. It was Jeffrey Furr.
That said what?
Suge Knight. It was Jeffrey Furr.
Okay.
So, but you still have the right to.
He didn't say that.
He did.
Read exactly what he said
Okay. Wait a minute.
because I'm looking at the same damn thing.
No, I knew. Like
He
I said, I
said
think
villain Suge Knight. He said, quote, "Be careful not to choke on your aspirins, Darth Vader, or whatever. Aspirations, Darth Vader."
Oh
And
my
villain
God! I didn't
Suge
say
Knight.
villain Suge Knight. Oh shit! You're right.
But it's fine for you to have a like Scott.
Jeffrey
he
jumped the gun
Scott
on me.
chooses a lot of
Damn
stuff
it,
that I
Jeffrey.
like sometimes.
But yeah, that was my.
No, that's still good. I mean, you gonna pick people.
But the guy, he.
He was one of the biggest villains.
Oh, and he built a fucking empire.
And the thing
Fucking
is,
Death Row Records. He had Pac, fucking Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre. Eazy-E was almost on there.
he had so much money.
Yeah.
He had so much money and kept breaking the law.
You could try and build your rap black crib, but it's not happening.
Why ain't it? I'm fucking.
I know you trying to.
I got my 9 in my back seat.
But
I'm ready to use it.
I thought that was a 22. Ain't that a
It's a
Larson
pew
or
pew
something?
22.
It was.
Hey, I'll fuck your ass up.
But Suge Knight, he had so much money and so much potential and was in the right place, but kept wanting to break the law and,
What? Yeah.
wanting to take what's yours if you don't want to negotiate and give it to him. He just wanted to take it.
Well,
and would.
And Suge Knight, I think, did come from the hood, didn't he? I mean,
Yeah. He's kind
so
of a
when you
thug.
grow up that way, I think
guess
it's
but
what's mine is mine.
Yeah.
You're
He
not
was
gonna
a
take it.
football and track star.
I don't know if he ever get out of jail, man. But you had all that money, and wow,
He
Some
became
people-
affiliated with Mont Peru Bloods.
He was
Did
killing
you
people
did you
and
ever
stuff.
watch the
His-
show The
from
Wire?
1963, 83, 1983 to 1985, he attended and played football at El Camaro College. 1985, he transferred to the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and played football there for 2 years. He went undrafted in 1987, but was invited to the Los Angeles Rams training camp, but was cut by the Rams during the camp, but became a replacement player during the 1987 NFL player strike and played 2 games for the Rams.
Well,
No, did you?
Yes, he
How about
did.
that?
But and I don't know what his net worth was, but it was up there pretty good.
Well,
but
did you ever watch the show The Wire?
I don't know if I seen that or not.
It's a pretty good show. I think it lasted 5 or 6 seasons.
Was
But-
it about Suge?
And no, it wasn't about Suge, but it was. I think it was in show based off of Philadelphia. I think maybe. Don't hold me to the town, but it was a show based off of. It was cops fighting
Robbers.
drug trafficking and drug selling.
Yeah.
And it was the show based off of these cops who were trying to fight it, and also the drug dealers who were pushing in the streets. And one of the final episodes or final seasons, there was one of the drug guys who had made it all the way up the ladder, as far as started out on the streets pushing drugs,
went to the
went
top.
up, he became the top drug dealer. He got, and the way it worked in this city, he got hooked up with some politicians who helped him as far as telling him he didn't have to do that anymore. He could do things legit, be out away from the street, still do his business, but
Be legit, not
be
touch it.
legit, wear a suit, be in all these fancy dinners, going to it, meeting people, meeting senator here, senator there,
Is that going on?
and but the way it ends is this guy has made it to the pinnacle, to the top, and then guess what he does?
What?
He has all this money now, making everything, all the money, and don't have to deal with being on the streets like a hood rat, running around worrying about getting killed. The show ends with him. He has a senator come up to him, talking to him, talking about, I want you to meet, somebody else who's higher up, and it's fancy dinner, it's everybody in tuxedos. He's in his tuxedo. He looks and he's like, this isn't. He don't say it, but you see the look on his face like, this isn't what I'm about. Isn't what I want to be. He takes his tuxedo off, strips down to his t-shirt and his jeans, walks back down on the corner of the street, standing there. Could have had all this money. He's standing there on the streets. Somebody comes up trying to sell drugs. He pushes him away. Talk about, motherfucker, this is my fucking street. You know, the guy's like,
Oh shit!
what the fuck? No, the fuck it ain't, like pulling his gun out. You know, talking about, I own this territory, and the motherfucker's like, no, the fuck you don't. This is mine. You know, and like the guy is like, recognize who he is, you know, and like turns around and runs, you know, and he's like sitting there looking on the street with this smile, like, you know, this is where I want to be. You know, it's like he could have not had to deal with that, but it's like the street was in him.
You couldn't take it out of him.
That's where he wanted to be.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a pretty cool show. But I mean, I think that's about the way it ends. The whole, I think it was 6 seasons, 6, 7, 8 seasons, something like that. But anyway, yeah,
I'll have to check it out for sure.
It's like I say, it's a pretty cool show. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff in there. You like when you watch it. There's a lot of what the fuck moments, like what the fuck is going on, you know. But it's one of those shows. But it's still a pretty good show.
That is a good show. Are you done talking over my fucking ass? Can I finish my damn shit?
You can, but who the
sorry.
fuck just walked in here blowing the damn horn?
I thought he was sick.
I thought I heard a door open.
I know. Who we got?
It's LL Cool Trey. Fucking 4 hours late.
Yeah. Who gave him that?
What type of
I
outfit
think
is
he
that?
brought it with him.
I think that's supposed to be for people on the show to drink.
I brought this with me.
I'm fucking with you, Trey. Cheers. We got Mr. Trey Davis. Sitting on the couch.
6 hours late. He didn't get it.
That's okay. That's okay.
He didn't get to a good stopping point, but he went to Max tonight.
I thought we were off tonight.
He's still on the holiday.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th.
But yeah, Suge Knight, man, I think he's the biggest villain out there. I think, you know, if he was still out of jail today, I think he would still be ruling the roost over there.
He would be. I don't know.
You know, Snoop Dogg bought Death Row Records. You know that?
I didn't know.
He owns Snoop. He owns Death Row Records.
You know what I would like to see?
What?
And this could be a entrepreneurship for somebody, which I don't know how you would do it, because it has to take a lot of willing and dealing to get inside the jail cell. But I would like to see if, like, Suge Knight is head over his
cell block.
Cell block.
He's probably not.
Would that not be cool to go inside and see?
It would be.
And to talk to people and
he
see
was affiliated with the Bloods,
He's-
and I know a little thing or two about, you know, that, because
the fuck do you
Suge
know about
Knight.
the Bloods?
I worked in the prison system for over 10 years.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
You
I
did.
know a good bit of thing about
I
it.
think Trey's
and if he went
disagreeing with
in
you.
still good with the Bloods, he's
well,
running a little bit of something.
What if he went in good with the Crips?
That wouldn't be good for him. It's
I think that'd be something cool to
He's
to
probably
see.
treated
if you could go
differently
in
than
there
the
and,
average prisoner. I mean,
well, I'm sure,
yeah.
but
he may have turned his life around. Y'all just judge
He may have, but
No,
he gonna,
turn his life to Jesus. And
no,
he gonna
I
spend a lot
think
of time in jail. I think
that would be a cool show if somebody could get access to Suge Knight in prison.
It would be.
And
I'll get on
everybody in
that.
his cell block.
I'm gonna get on that shit.
Everybody in the cell block, you know, find out what they think about him. And
Trey,
find if
can you
there's-
start writing letters to San Quentin? I think
Is he in San Quentin?
I have no idea where he is.
I don't think he's in San Quentin.
As as Kevin Hart would say, they fucking in San Quentin.
Well, I think they fucking in all prisons.
Probably. It ain't the kind you be thinking about, neither.
Speaking of prison, you saw some shit going on.
Oh my
didn't you?
God, I can't disclose all that. I'm still under contract. I'll get in trouble.
But you saw some shit.
Oh
going
yeah,
on.
I saw some disturbing shit in my
I
tenure.
I remember you.
in the prison
I remember
system.
you telling us some about. Some
I
of that
walked
stuff.
them hallways and I saw some some graphic stuff.
Anything you ever had to break up?
Yes, sir. I didn't break it. I let my gas can.
I
Couple relationships.
I remember Chris. I remember Chris talking about some stuff that he witnessed, and he's talking about. I tell you, I hated that. I even partake in that, but I did. But I mean, I was like,
He's fucking that motherfucker. See what you missed.
That's why his teeth are kind of cream color now.
Oh shit!
Hey, but my shit's white. I brush my teeth every day.
I'm sorry. That was
You
supposed
look
to be
like
off
you've been
air.
eating firecrackers, motherfucker.
Cream colored.
Did you eat a M80 today? Damn methicaine teeth. Don't let me start on y'all. Y'all crooked ass. I got beautiful
say
straight
shit.
teeth. I got beautiful
Scott's
teeth.
telling some of your prison stories.
I'm kidding. I'm joking. Joking around.
Where's the timer?
He's
The,
not,
the timer's already broke off.
yeah,
He
we're
was fucking. He was. Jesus Christ! It's 2 hours long.
an hour and a half.
I didn't think you were doing this show. That's why I went out.
Shit! You should have came here. It'd have been a much more party if you was
I went
here.
out like an hour ago. I saw Chris
I'm blitzed out my mind.
I saw Chris's Snapchat. He's stuck in traffic. I was like, they're not doing the show tonight.
Bullshit. I needed the show tonight. I needed to be here. All right, hey, that was,
So anyway, Suge Knight is yours.
Suge Knight. That, I think is better than all y'all's bullshit.
That was a good choice. That was a
Well,
good
yeah,
choice.
and what didn't he hung
Villain
Ice Cube
for-
over
So the one thing I wanted to say
or Vanilla
is
Ice,
the
not Ice Cube.
well,
not
there's two
Henry.
things I wanted to go
Henry.
over. So there was the quotations hanging.
Henry.
What the hell's his name?
Vanilla Ice.
Peter Van Pyke or whatever.
Henry
the
Van
hell.
Winkle.
Dick
Yeah.
Van Winkle over the edge. Is that true?
He
Well,
says
first
it is.
get his name right because he's gonna be on the show next week. I talked to him.
Henry.
He's like, word to your mother, and then slapped me in my head. So Rick is a Rick Van Winkle?
Henry.
Henry? Which one is
Rob.
it? Rob Van Winkle.
Rob Van
So
Winkle.
the story goes,
Henry.
something happened between the contract, and Rob Van Winkle wouldn't let it go, and she was like, "Fuck you are." And then is that how it
He
went?
wanted the rights to his music. He said, "You can sign them over. I'm gonna drop you 35 stories. I mean, you make the choice.
Yeah, I would have. Hey, you
Sign
got it.
them on over."
So now here's the controversy.
So then he started the Ninja Turtles.
yeah.
Ninja rap.
Go Ninja, go Ninja.
Yeah. So the Easy E thing. So there's a bunch of stories.
Well, Easy E died when in 90.
Well,
90.
he died in
90.
AIDS.
Yeah, 90.
So this-
Well, I know he died of AIDS, but it was like
the story
early-
goes, I'll call it an urban legend, that Easy Suge called him to the studio because he wanted rights to, NWA.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't give it to him. So the story goes, Suge Knight takes a needle filled with AIDS blood off an AIDS person and sticks him with it.
I've heard that rumor.
And I've also heard that he got raped in the studio by an AIDS like Suge Knight paid a dude to rape him, like physically. Like that's the two stories I've heard.
Yeah.
But in the movie, he just gets a beat down. Right?
I guess.
No, I mean in the movie he just gets a beat down. He don't show any needle, it don't show nobody humping him or anything like that. But I truly now everybody says what not everybody. I've heard very few people say that Eazy was like a two-way hitter, I don't believe that shit.
I've never heard that, but
Yeah.
I mean, he
I've
might have
heard
been.
that.
I
He
don't
would
know.
bat
I've heard
our
that.
catch.
But I don't believe
Yeah.
that shit. Not in the
He'd go
group,
back-
not in the group that he was in. The parties they had and all the women. I don't believe that shit. I believe
Man,
I believe the needle story. I believe that Suge Knight looked at him
He
like
had a baseball and he had a catcher's mitt. Both of them. He was like,
you are nasty.
neither one.
He's so nasty.
Well, that's what you said.
Well, I mean that's what I heard.
Rumors,
You gotta think this
that
was
make
the 80s
stories.
and the 90s though.
I know.
And that was like the 90s especially, but that was really, you know what I'm saying? This is good.
It's so good.
Hey, We got a whole bucket down there. Get your
I'm just gonna sit down.
So, I believe,
Hang out with one of your spots.
and this is my opinion, I believe that
Oh, you already got another one.
I believe that Suge invited him to the studio, and he had somebody standing by with, they got some blood off a damn AIDS victim, and stuck him with a needle. I believe that happened. I believe
That's
that
what you think happened?
I think that's
So you
happened.
believe that they said, "Hey, you have AIDS. Can I stick you with a needle and get some of that?"
No, I believe he said, "Sign this fucking paper, or you gonna
No,
get."
I think Eazy-E, I think he slept with someone who had AIDS, and he caught AIDS.
That's what he said.
That's how he got AIDS.
I wasn't there. I was over
Well,
the East Coast, but I
AIDS
feel like that
can't
was
be
just an accident.
fluidly transmitted. It's got to be through butthole, is my understanding.
No, it don't.
That's negatory.
That ain't right.
Yeah,
All
no,
right,
it
I'm going
can't.
back to the club.
Okay.
Butthole and he's out.
Conversation.
Show's over with.
No,
Show's over
it-
with.
Wait a minute. Make me
It-
understand
it-
how AIDS is transmitted.
AIDS,
So-
AIDS is transmitted through sex.
Yeah, or
I
Well,
mean,
not necessarily-
It
yeah,
doesn't
bodily
mean
fluids. You can have
it's not just from.
you can't kiss and get AIDS.
Well, if somebody's got a cut
At
in their mouth,
first,
or
they
something.
thought AIDS because I think a lot of people called it a kissing disease because they thought at first that you could get AIDS from swapping spit,
just from kissing.
kissing, but that has since been debunked. You cannot. You
Debunked.
only can get AIDS from sex, but it started out where it was. A lot of people said it was the gay disease because it was only in the gay community.
Right. It was more prevalent.
And-
it was more prevalent in the gay
Yeah,
community.
and so you had people who said that it's a gay disease, AIDS is, and so if somebody who wasn't gay got AIDS, they were like they must have had sex with somebody who was gay,
Yeah.
but that's not what. AIDS is sexually transmitted. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be boy to boy, or it can be boy to girl, or what is. At first, that was what it was thought of, that it was a gay disease, that it was only
It
through.
was a rumor.
Yeah, and that was a rumor. It was just because it started, I guess,
More prevalent.
in the gay community.
But you also had bisexual people that, and now you can say, wait a minute, it's not just the gay people.
Yeah, and so now it spread through all.
Yeah.
Well,
We-
let's
we-
just diminish that rumor that he was gay, because I don't believe not for 1 minute Eazy was gay.
I don't believe so.
Not for one damn minute.
Probably.
Well, and
That dude
I don't-
was a
I don't either.
gangst- that dude-
but even if
that
he
dude
was, I don't
strung
care if he was. I
drugs
mean, that's
as
to
a-
me. I
you
don't.
know.
To me, I don't. If he was gay, I don't care if he's gay. I don't look at people
even
that
if he
I,
was bisexual.
I don't look at people who I look up to as being. I don't look at their sexual preference. To me, that it doesn't matter to me.
Scott, I wasn't attacking you. You can relax.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that doesn't matter.
You were
Like Elton
I'm just
John,
saying.
like Elton John. I think
Packed my bags last night, pre-flight.
I think Elton John is a great performer,
Zero
a
out
great
without
writer, a
him.
great performer.
He is.
Keep going.
I like Elton John.
Do you?
I do. I like Elton John's
What do you
music.
like about him?
I like his music.
Do you like him as a person?
I like his
How he
music.
looks?
I like his music.
Say, he's an anti-Semite.
Is he a strapping young lad?
Y'all gonna get flagged. So
Yep.
I know.
Carol's over there like, that's 40 minutes. That's 40
looking at
minutes.
that time clock going, yeah, I'm gonna have to
We
cut
going
that
on a
part.
minute. We going on an hour and 40.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
This show's
40
gonna,
minutes.
So we got
this
sidetracked
show's
a little
going to
bit.
cut down to like a damn 30 minutes.
Probably 48 minutes.
All right, so best 80s hair band.
All right.
Yeah, we need
We're
to keep it
running out of
fun,
time here.
fun
Yeah.
and enlightening.
Well, we was having fun until you went to the
Dark side.
Very dark side.
Can you punish me?
Hey, real quick. So, what were your two topics tonight?
It was
Villain.
yeah,
Musician villain.
guillotine.
Well, it was the guillotine's topic was
best villain
best
quotes.
villain quote.
Okay, I got one.
And the guitar was
Guitar
best-
was the
who was the
who
most
was the
perceived
biggest-
villain?
yeah,
like
perceived
either
villain.
label or a person.
either it
or
can be a
band.
musician or a A&R guy or so anybody in the music business.
What was yours for the musician villain?
Should
Should not.
Should not.
What was yours?
Mine was the Aerosmith's
Producer.
two managers.
Yeah,
that
the
was
managers, yeah.
Aerosmith, AC/DC, and Joan Jett that took the rights to their music.
Okay, what was yours?
Ian Watkins,
Who was that?
the we don't need to go all down. Anyway, I'll make it. Yeah, Cliff Notes.
He's in jail.
Ian Watkins, he's in jail right now. He was a singer for the Lost Prophets, a band who was in the mid 2000s. Yeah. They had some mild success. You know, they had some songs that were pretty big.
It had some punk / thrash in it.
I knew Scott would come up with somebody that nobody ever heard of.
He ended up he got convicted for child sex crimes, where he was getting fans to bring their kids back on the bus with him, and doing sexual things with him and filming it and all. And so anyway, he's in jail. So that's who mine is.
I might actually listen to this show and to hear that story.
You need to.
Shit, he went off the deep end.
No, because
I don't listen to this.
He got angry and everything.
What? No,
he started sweating.
I got angry and upset when I was talking about it because this show is supposed to be lighthearted and fun, you know. Right. But when we had this topic, that was the one I thought about, and I was like, okay. But anyway, so I went off anyway. That's what
I'll listen and hear everything else. I just want So best villain quote. What was yours?
Hold on. It was off the Joker. It was
the Joker movie. The Joker.
No.
Hey, Carol.
Batman.
You mind fixing me a drink since we don't have a bartender tonight? If you don't mind.
What
Trey, you see that?
That's a good bartender right there.
I got to get somebody. I got to get one to host the bartender.
I love being on this side. All right,
hey, mine was introduce a little anarchy, upset the established order, and everything becomes chaos.
Oh, I would say you were talking about Batman. I would think about the Jack Nicholson. Where does he get these wonderful toys?
That's a good one.
There's a lot of Jack Nicholson.
Okay, I know the whole movie could be nothing, or the whole thing could be nothing but Jack Nicholson.
This town needs an enema.
Oh my God, yes. What was yours?
Mine was.
I'm trying to be quick.
Mine was
rapid fire.
Mine was Buffalo Bill. From
he puts the lotion on the skin.
Really? Okay,
that's mine.
That is
but it was actually not just that line. It rubs the lotion on its skin, but it was the whole 5 minute segment. Especially where he gets to where he tried to get her to put the lotion back in the basket. You know, it puts the lotion in the basket. You know, and she's like, "Please, mister, please. You know, my parents can give you lots of money." And I mean, it's the whole scene where like he has that look where he looks like he's about to cry, and then he's like,
"I'm trying to be quick."
He's like, "It puts the fucking lotion in the basket."
He got real.
I love that scene. Just the
Carol,
way.
What was yours?
Mine was Child's Play Chucky because it aggravated me. Let's be friends to the end.
Okay, yeah.
Let's be friends to the end.
Okay. My favorite villain quote is "Here's Johnny."
Oh shit! From The Shining.
And that's one.
He sticks his sweaty ass face in the crack.
But you know what's funny is like, so everybody back then knew what "Here's Johnny" referenced. But a lot of people today don't know what "Here's Johnny" references.
Yeah, "Here's Johnny" referenced
that's
the Tonight Show.
Yeah,
Johnny Carson.
Here's
Johnny.
I knew that.
Ed, what's his name? Ed
McMahon.
Clearinghouse. Yeah, Ed McMahon. Here's Johnny. Johnny Carson came out. So yeah, that's my favorite. That was the first thing that popped.
That is well, and actually that was what I when we were talking about it because Chris was talking about Jack Nicholson. You know, I was like, to me, I think that's the most famous thing that he utters is "Here's Johnny" because you hear it all the time, especially seeing his face in there.
Well, see, and I talked about it on the show too that I hadn't seen that movie since way back when. I don't remember any of it,
but you remember that
quote.
Part.
So as soon as I saw it come up on Facebook about that, I was like, "Here's Johnny." That's the line.
And that's. I think if we were doing most iconic quote, that would be probably top of the list.
Oh yeah,
no doubt. Okay, so what about
musician villain? I don't want to say because they might be on the show one day, but I've got one for sure.
Well, shit, spit it out.
Oh no, I don't want to spit it out.
We don't spit it out. Come on, spit it out. What you got?
D. Snyder.
That is actually a fucking good one. I mean, really, I saw a bunch of his shit.
Yeah, and I won't get into why, but D. Snyder is just
no. He's been an ass to a lot of people.
He has, and you know, it seems like he's been an ass to a lot of people recently in the last few years. And you know, we won't get political, but it seems like that's kind of when things turned around for D. Snyder. And I used to like D. Snyder. I used to love the band. I still love the band. I still love the music, and I still love D. Snyder for what he gave us. But I feel like D. Snyder is kind of one of those guys that I don't want to be friends with. But I could be wrong. Maybe he's great. And we can just have differences personally. But I feel like he did a lot
that's
of
the
things
thing. You know, for every person you hear talks about D. Snyder being an asshole,
I don't have my glasses on.
there are. You can find as many people who say he's the nicest person
Can I
on
tell
earth.
you one story?
I've seen that with so many people who I guess it depends on the time of day. It depends on the time of day and I guess what they're going through at that time when you meet them or whatever.
Yeah, don't meet your heroes. That's what I always heard.
Yeah.
Don't meet your heroes.
Yeah, meet because they're not going to be what you expect them to be.
So I'm saying D. Snyder, but and I don't really want to give examples about why, because I feel like we actually probably would get along. Like I feel like I'd like him as long as we don't talk about too personal stuff. But one thing that just crossed my mind when you said that was somebody that I looked up to my whole life, and as a guitar player, wanted to be a fraction of what he was Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton recently, in the last few years, actually, the story goes, I could be completely wrong, but the story goes, him and his people sued a woman for bootlegging his material, like an old woman.
I heard that.
Who was just, she was recording
I
stuff.
hadn't heard that.
I guess I'd have to look it up. I don't have my tablet.
Ain't Eric
I wasn't
Clapton-
prepared for the show, but I feel like they went after this one individual, which happened to be a elderly or older woman.
Is he the one where his son fell through the cracks of a building and fell to his death?
that was
Yeah, but that's a personal.
that
thing.
was-
I'm just saying, is that the same person?
Same guy,
though?
yeah.
Yeah.
Eric Clapton. Yeah,
Eric
that's
Clapton,
it.
one of the greatest guitar players, one of the greatest songwriters, like somebody that I look up to in that way. But then when I heard the story about him and his people suing this woman for bootlegging Eric Clapton or Cream or whatever she was bootlegging. It bothered me, and I was like, wow, what a dick. So
Well, and
I don't
see,
know. We're here in Hartsville. We're not where he is,
and
where that
you don't
story
know the
actually
whole
happened.
story.
Exactly.
And I saw the exact same story with Metallica about.
Sure, let's get into that.
Yeah, but no, but here's. I saw a story with there was a Metallica cover band who was playing in Canada,
Yeah.
playing around, making a lot of money, doing a Metallica tribute,
Yeah.
and they got a notice to stop from Metallica
This is probably from Lars.
saying cease and desist. Now you have to stop.
You want to be like
Otherwise you have to pay us money for using our image.
I've got
Now-
a similar story.
Okay, hold on. Let me finish this. But so the band was like,
interrupt you.
the band was like, the cover band was like, we're playing our idols' music. So we're trying to heap praise on them. We're not doing anything other than
We're a cover tribute band.
we book ourselves as a Metallica tribute band. And I think they were called Ride the Lightning or
not
maybe
calling
Blackened or something.
We're not calling
it was
ourselves
called
Metallica.
it was like Blackened, the Ultimate Metallica tribute or something. So there wasn't it wasn't like they were labeling themselves as Metallica, but
Right.
and this lawsuit went on, and it come to find out Metallica had nothing. They knew nothing about it. It was their lawyers who
Reached out and
said cease and
Stop.
desist,
Yeah.
and stopped them from playing. And when it finally made news, Metallica actually went and met with them and played a show with them and
Oh,
said,
shit.
"Yeah," and said, "Hey, continue on doing what you're doing."
I can't believe that shit happened. I really can't believe that.
They did. And I was like, see, and that's pretty cool,
From
I
Lars,
was like, but
so I can't believe that happened.
A lot of times, what you hear isn't the actual band. It's because the bands when they get to the magnitude like Metallica's at, they have a lot of lawyers and stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on that the band don't actually even know. Yeah. The lawyers look at it as like, okay, they're like, this band's making a lot of noise, getting a lot of people coming in to see them that is using Metallica's
they're making
image,
money.
making money.
Yeah.
Either they're going to pay us or we're going to stop it,
There's
and so it goes to that. The band didn't even know it until they caught wind of it, and then they told the there were lawyers. They were like, stop. We're not doing this, and let the band carry on.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's stuff like that. So you don't know if it's hard to get the whole story when you read an article because you don't know.
And you don't know who wrote it. You don't know.
Yeah.
What
Well, when
side
you
they're
said-
So
writing
you don't know what's
when
going
you said
on.
that Metallica came out and played the show, I can't see Lars Ulrich doing that shit.
Well,
Because
it's-
he is so anti.
I know. Well, Lars Ulrich didn't. Lars Ulrich went out with the band, but
You think you me?
You're
Huh?
So there's I
You know?
follow this.
no. But I mean,
I'm gonna get the story. out.
Lars is not that bad a guy. I mean, yeah,
The
he likes
fucking
his,
VA. He's an asshole.
No, he's not.
no.
The
he-
fucking VA. I've
he
seen
had-
the Metallica therapy sessions. Like, you've seen the movie?
Oh yeah.
I did.
He's
too.
a fucking dickhead.
Oh, that
He
was
really
20
is.
years ago. He's not a dickhead anymore. So there's a band called Hayseed Dixie. They're a bluegrass band.
that does AC/DC songs.
Yes, and they play AC/DC
Yes.
songs, and they're bluegrass. But it's the words and everything. So I'm sure that they paid.
That-
they paid
that-
Come on, the
licensing
guy that rides
fees,
up on the
whatever.
lawnmower and the banjo and all that.
No, that's
No, but
a different
Their
band.
favorite song that they play is it's not a AC/DC. Well, they play Highway to Hell, but it's like it's all banjos and it's awesome. But yeah, so I was gonna say real quick for villains because I know you're out of time and I showed up late. You'll have to you guys and the listeners will have to do some research when you listen to this. But I'm gonna say first, and maybe only, is Ronnie Van Zant's wife from Leonard Skinner. I forget her name right now, but when the plane crash happened,
Mrs. Van Zandt.
no, I know her name. I know the whole thing, but
What the fuck did you say?
I know the whole thing. But
Mrs.
I've been out before I showed up to the studio tonight, the G&G studio. But look up the story, and we talked about it before when I was talking about Artemis Pyle. Like there's all these like different stories pop up, and none of them quite fit together. Look up the story about Ronnie Van Zant's wife when the plane crash happened, and she said that Leonard Skinner could not go on unless there were 3 original members. Well, when there was a car accident with one of the members, and he couldn't play anymore, and that dropped it down to 2, and they still continued to play, and she sued the guys that were playing. Gary Rossington, who I love. He passed away, but Gary Rossington, who I love, was also maybe kind of part of that. We don't know, but you have to look that stuff up. So there was some villainous things happening in the Leonard Skinner band after the plane crash.
How about that?
That's all I got.
That's it. Shit,
That's
I
what
was
said.
looking
I'm
for a
not-
punchline
no,
or something.
No, but I'm not giving you the details because Daddy's been drinking.
That's pretty cool, though. I mean,
All great topics.
Look
We
it up.
had a great time all the way around. We
Are
are
we done
running
now?
way. Yes, we are about
See you guys
2
later.
hours. You stay right there.
Trey. If you don't,
You got some drinking to catch
you about 2 hours late. So.
Yeah.
Who's the bartender? Somebody make me a drink.
Shit, who's the bartender? This bucket has been the bartender this whole damn show.
So I'm not here, so you just get a bucket.
A
of
bucket,
little shots
yes,
all night,
yes,
that's
a
it?
bucket. God
So
damn
who
it!
was making your
We
drink?
thought you
guys
was
had to
cleaning.
Get up during the show.
We
and
thought
make
you
your
was
own
cleaning
drinks.
one of your uniforms, or something, and something happened.
Well, I was hanging out in the prison.
But anyway,
Had to break
hey,
up a
this
fight.
is Cut 18. We
not
have
done yet.
enjoyed this show. We have enjoyed this episode, and Trey comes in 4 hours late and
Comes
enjoys
in
this
and
with
saves the show at the
Thank you
last
very much.
minute.
You're welcome.
But it's okay, you know.
to give some energy.
We had to have some energy. But anyway, we hope everyone has been keeping up with us.
I'm not used to sitting over here. Is that camera getting my good side?
It's definitely getting your
I
backside.
know it is. I'm sorry about fatback.
Swipe that credit card and that slot. I just kidding.
Oh, that's wrong. That was wrong.
I do think that
You wait till these cameras go off.
Trey's the only one who was busted in on the show when we live.
Yeah, he beat the horn and
Like I said,
And
before,
comes in and sits down like nothing's ever happened.
Yeah.
And like
Chris is my
part
drinking-
of the show.
Chris is my drinking buddy. Like I said, I saw on his little Snapchat that he was like stuck in traffic. I said that show's not happening tonight. So
bullshit.
a little while later, I was doing some work at the house, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna make it to the show tonight. We're not gonna be there by the time that we normally get there. And I saw his thing, and I was like, yeah, they're definitely not doing a show tonight. So I rested for a little while, then I took a shower, and I said I might go out and go have a drink or two. And I didn't know you guys were still doing it, so.
He said, "Send me a picture." I was like, "Ah!"
So I sent Chris a text. Chris, my drinking buddy. I figured they weren't doing the show. I said, "Hey, where you at?" He sends me a picture of you guys doing the show. I said, "Shit, I'm gonna stop by. I'm gonna honk the horn."
That's what he said. Well, I said,
we got it on.
And he called me
on film too. You can hear it. Because Chris was like, "Is that Trey? Trey's outside."
I heard the international signal let me in.
I wasn't gonna come by, but Chris called me a bad name, and here I am.
How did I spell it?
Pusey. Gary Pusey.
Oh my God. I really did say that to him.
So here I am.
I tried to insult him as much. I said, pussy.
I try to insult him. Being insulted.
We're glad you made it, Trey.
What's that?
We are glad you made it.
We're going to have a little after show.
This is going to be the greatest 20 minutes. No, I'm going to go back and listen and see if it was all right.
Well, this was a great show, fellas. Thank y'all for...
I think it was, too.
Thank
Chris.
y'all for being here. Shit, you always here. Why am I thanking y'all for being
Carol,
here? You always
great
here.
show.
I need a new damn bit. I need a new
Even though
company.
you wasn't here for the whole show, still.
I was here for the best part.
We had to fix our own drinks. I mean,
Look, I like being here at the table, man. We're going to have to make
so,
some changes.
so now we got to get a.
We need a Game of Thrones.
So that was going to be a
Game of
four
Thrones
piece at the table.
table.
We got to get somebody else to bartend.
We got to get a
Carol,
chess
you ever bartended
piece.
before?
I have. I can do it.
You and Michael Lynch and who?
I don't know about being Michael Lynch, but I can do it.
Michael Lynch can bartend?
He
Wait,
can't
used
see
to
over
work
the bar.
Didn't he used to work here? It was years ago.
I can't see over the bar.
Oh, my God. That was road. He can see over this one.
Chris,
I love
can
you,
you
Mike.
bartend?
I believe I can.
Don't put him back there with the drinks.
The fuck?
No, I'm not
Hey,
talking about here. I'm talking about. Can you bartend at someplace else when we do the show?
I think I can. I'm really confident in myself. I think I could.
I think you could, too. I think maybe you should do, maybe you should call into the show.
I would do that next time.
That sounds
I will
good.
stay out in the parking lot and just call in every
sounds great.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Why don't
Hey,
you-
this is Chris again.
Why don't you go ahead and leave now? Call us from the truck.
This asshole.
Yeah, and we can and if we don't answer, leave a message.
Yeah, we'll play it back.
Yeah.
Listen, we
I
are
think
way
that
out of
sounds
time. We going on. We are way out of time. We got to get the fuck out of here. Damn.
Oh yeah, look at her. We got fucking 2 hours. Damn.
Look at Carol just sitting over there shaking his damn head. I got a lot of editing to do for the next 2 days.
Yeah, I think we are done. All right. I think it was a good show. We discussed a lot of topics.
That's my line, dickhead. You shut the hell up. You be
Go ahead.
quiet.
You wasn't saying it.
Well, it was a good show, everybody. Thanks to everybody for listening tonight. We had a great time. It was a great show. We had a great guest tonight. Trey Davis was here tonight.
Is this a voiceover? That's a voiceover. Matthew McConaughey. I had no idea you was here.
All right. Rolling my booger in my hand.
All right, everybody.
it's
Thank you
great.
for listening. Shut up, Scott. Thank you for listening. This is Guillotines and Guitars from the Hartsville, South Carolina studios. Thank you for everybody who's been listening. This is Cut 18, and we are out.